Have you ever felt like your life has become a monotonous routine, leaving you wondering if it's too late to rediscover joy and purpose? James, a man who once accepted a life of dullness, has proven that transformation is always possible, even when time seems to be running out. In this video, we'll explore the small but profound changes that reignited James's passion for life, reshaped his mindset, and sparked inspiration in a community ready for renewal. Through his journey, you'll see how tiny habits can lead to monumental shifts, how breaking free from limiting beliefs can open doors to new possibilities, and why self-care, mindfulness, and meaningful connections are essential at any age. This story isn't just about personal growth, it's about creating a legacy that extends beyond yourself. Stay tuned until the end, because James's story isn't just a tale, it's a roadmap for you to transform your own life. Whether you're seeking inspiration, clarity, or simply a reason to believe in new beginnings, this video will offer practical insights and a renewed sense of hope for what's possible. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, be sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoyed the video, leave a 1 in the comments. If you disagree, leave a 0. Your feedback is important and helps me create videos tailored to your interests. Now, let's dive in. James had long been trapped in a life of monotony, a routine that drained the vibrancy and excitement he once dreamed of. His days had become a predictable cycle, marked by quiet loneliness and an unspoken acceptance of the passage of time. After losing his wife over a decade ago, James had retreated into a shell of discipline. Every morning began the same way, an unremarkable cup of strong coffee and a slice of buttered toast, followed by an evening spent slumped before the flickering light of the television. His body ached with pain, and a constant weariness clouded his spirit. The emptiness felt like the inevitable price of aging, a void that seemed impossible to escape. James had convinced himself that there was nothing left for life to offer him. But life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. One ordinary afternoon, as James walked through the park with his heavy steps, he happened upon Emma. She was running, her movements flowing effortlessly, as if defying the weight of the world itself. Her smile was like a ray of sunshine piercing through his long, dark days, and her laughter carried warmth he hadn't felt in years. When their eyes met, something stirred within him, like a faint flicker of light in a heart that had been dimmed for far too long. Emma walked over and stopped to chat, her energy magnetic, almost impossible to resist. "Have you ever noticed?" she asked, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. "How small habits can completely change the way we experience life. I truly believe it's never too late to start over." Her words resonated deeply, like a melody forgotten long ago in James's mind. For the first time in what seemed like an eternity, someone truly saw him not just as a tired, aging man, but as a soul still capable of transformation. Sensing his curiosity, Emma invited him for a coffee, a simple yet meaningful gesture. Over steaming cups, they shared their stories. Emma listened intently as James spoke about his life, one of passivity, a lack of motivation, and the monotony of his daily existence. He spoke of his sedentary habits and uninspiring meals, his tone tinged with self-deprecation. Yet Emma smiled knowingly. "All of that can change, James," she said, her eyes sparkling with belief. "You just need to take the first step." That brief encounter ignited a profound awakening in James. He couldn't shake the memory of Emma's words, her unwavering faith in the transformative power of small changes. It was as though she had handed him the key to a door he hadn't even known existed, a door that led to hope, vitality, and a fresh beginning. James took Emma's suggestion to heart. She had recommended starting his mornings with stretching exercises. "Awakening the body," she had said, "is just as important as nourishing the mind." First, the movements felt awkward and insignificant. His stiff muscles resisted, unwilling to cooperate. But slowly, those simple stretches transformed into a sacred ritual. Each movement became a gift to his tired body, a quiet moment of care and connection. James began to look forward to these early mornings. savoring the lightness and sense of renewal they brought. As time passed, James's transformation grew more pronounced. The reluctant effort to follow Emma's encouragement blossomed into a journey of self-discovery. For the first time in years, he felt alive, full of potential, purpose, and the captivating realization that life still had many wonders to offer. Emma wasn't just an inspiration. She was a reminder that it's never too late to reignite the inner flame, to rewrite a story that once seemed finished. And James, who had once resigned himself to a life of silent despair, now faced each day with an open heart, ready to embrace change and a spirit eager to rise higher. What truly amazed James was how Emma turned simple actions into profound lessons about life. One day, as they sat together enjoying coffee, she encouraged him to walk more. Have you ever thought about how something as simple as walking can not only change your health, but also transform your perspective on life? Emma said, her voice filled with conviction. Her words carried a weight that James couldn't ignore. Emma invited him to join her for a walk in the park, and what began as a hesitant step quickly became an open door to rediscovering the joy of movement and the beauty of connection. As they walked, their conversation flowed naturally, touching on life choices and the resilience of the human spirit. Emma shared insights that walking wasn't just exercise. It was a way to reconnect with the body and release endorphins, the hormones of happiness. Each step, she explained, is an act of self-love, a signal to your body that you're choosing vitality over stagnation. For James, who had once regarded walking as a mundane chore, this new perspective completely changed his mindset. Each step through the park became an awakening. He began to notice the vibrant colors of the leaves, the sensation of the breeze brushing against his face, and the soft symphony of birds singing and leaves rustling. With Emma by his side, encouraging him to take one more step, James realized that he wasn't just walking further along the winding paths of the park, but also stepping into a world of potential that he had long abandoned. However, the path to transformation was not without its challenges. James's inner battles loomed larger than ever, shaped by years of limiting beliefs and the haunting thought that it was too late to change. One day, he confided his fears to Emma. "I think it's too late for me." Emma's response was both firm and filled with compassion. "James," she said, squeezing his hand, "it's only too late when you decide to give up. As long as you have breath and the will to move forward, it's never too late." Her words resonated deeply within James, becoming a mantra that drove him during moments of doubt. Determined to honor Emma's belief in him, James began making small but meaningful changes to his daily routine. He slowly realized that age wasn't the real barrier. His mindset was the true obstacle. Transformation didn't happen immediately or dramatically, but with each small adjustment, the rewards began to accumulate. The suggestions Emma had once made, which seemed difficult at first, now appeared as opportunities to rediscover joy. Each step forward, each change, was no longer a burden but a celebration of life. One of his greatest challenges was addressing his dependence on processed foods. For years, James had favored convenience over nutrition, relying on canned soups, stuffed breads, and sweet cookies. "I used to think these foods were harmless," he admitted sheepishly to Emma. Emma patiently explained how these products were draining his energy, causing inflammation in his body, and exacerbating the aches and pains he had attributed to aging. Instead of overwhelming him with drastic changes, Emma suggested a gentle approach, gradually replacing one thing at a time. Together, they explored the art of preparing simple, wholesome meals. James found joy in creating vibrant salads with fresh greens, whole grains, and the bright colors of crunchy vegetables. Emma taught him how to season roasted chicken with fragrant herbs and prepare natural, sweet fruit juices from fresh produce. What surprised James the most was that he discovered a newfound passion for cooking. What had once been a mundane task now became an act of self-care and creativity. As James's diet shifted, his approach to stress began to change as well. Emma introduced the concept of quiet moments, encouraging James to spend a few minutes each day simply breathing deeply and relaxing. "Stress can be just as damaging as poor nutrition," she reminded him. First, James felt awkward trying to calm his busy mind, But over time, those quiet moments became a sanctuary, soothing his tension and clearing his thoughts. A pivotal moment in James's journey came when he decided to face something he had long avoided: the doctor's office. For years, he had steered clear of health checkups, fearing what might be revealed. But, with Emma's gentle encouragement, reminding him that prevention is better than cure, he summoned the courage to schedule an appointment. The results were nothing short of remarkable. James's blood pressure was stable, his energy had returned, and the overwhelming fatigue that had once plagued him had lessened. The noticeable improvements left his doctor astonished and filled James with a newfound strength. For the first time in years, he realized the profound impact that personal choices could have in reshaping his body, mind, and life. Along with his improved health came a fresh wave of confidence and excitement. James no longer saw himself as someone limited by age, but as an individual still capable of dreaming and achieving his goals. Emma remained his constant companion, inspiring him to set even higher aspirations. Together, they began planning small adventures, weekend strolls in nearby towns, hikes on breathtaking trails, and visits to places James had longed to explore. Each trip wasn't just about changing the scenery, but about celebrating the newfound vitality and zest for life that James was rediscovering. In Emma, James found not only a friend but also a guiding light, reminding him that even the smallest changes could lead to extraordinary transformations. Through these shifts, James came to understand that self-care wasn't selfish. It was a way to honor and respect his own life. Over time, he recognized that each small step he took not only improved his health, but also provided him with a new perspective on life. Every morning, waking up, James felt a sense of anticipation for the day ahead, a feeling he once thought had been lost forever. James's transformation proved that it is never too late to begin anew. Every small decision we make today has the power to shape how we live tomorrow. Just like James, you too can discover that the greatest gift you can give yourself is care and respect for your body and mind. Now, it's your turn. What are you ready to change in your life to live healthier, more energized, and more meaningfully? The first step may seem simple, but it could lead you to places you never imagined. James's story didn't stop with his personal transformation. It blossomed into something greater. As his health, mindset, and relationships flourished, James began to notice how his changes had inspired those around him. Friends, family, and even strangers began asking him about his secret, curious about how he had revitalized his life at an age when many believed it was too late for change. One day, James's grandson, a young man struggling with motivation, asked him, "Uncle James, how do you keep going? How are you always so positive?" James smiled and replied, "The secret isn't perfection. It's showing up for myself every day, even if it's just a small effort." With Emma's unwavering support and the encouragement of a growing community, James decided to organize regular meetups in the park where his journey had begun. These gatherings brought together people of all ages to share stories, learn from each other, and adopt healthier habits. What began as simple walks and conversations evolved into a thriving community movement. People brought their own ideas, recipes, and workout routines, creating a space where everyone felt inspired to improve their lives. James's courage in sharing his personal story had a ripple effect. One woman, who initially joined the group out of curiosity, confided in James, "I felt so lost for years, but seeing you take these steps gives me hope that I can do it too." For James, moments like these reinforced his belief that change isn't just about personal growth, it's about sparking a chain reaction of positivity. As James's influence grew, he was invited to speak at community events, senior centers, and even local schools. His message was simple yet powerful. No matter your age, the smallest changes can lead to extraordinary results. The key is believing that you are worthy of the effort. One of the most memorable invitations James received was from a local university, where he was asked to share his experiences with students studying psychology and health. Standing in front of a room full of eager faces, James said, "We often think of aging as a downhill journey, but that only happens if you let it. Every moment is an opportunity to redefine yourself." Alongside these events, James began to journal regularly, capturing his thoughts, struggles, and triumphs. Emma suggested he compile these notes into a book. "Your story deserves to be shared with the world," she told him. Inspired by her encouragement, James began writing a memoir. He hoped his book would reach those feeling stuck, showing them that change is possible at any stage of life. Reflecting on his journey, James realized that he hadn't just gained physical benefits, but emotional and spiritual ones as well. His relationships had deepened, especially with his children and grandchildren, who admired his renewed passion for life. James even inspired his son, who had previously neglected his health, to join him on morning walks. Through this journey, James discovered that the key to living a full, meaningful life lies in the courage to start, the strength to keep going, and the willingness to inspire others along the way. Each step, no matter how small, becomes a building block for something greater, a life of fulfillment, purpose, and connection. One day, James and Emma decided to take a leap and plan a trip they had both dreamed about for years, a journey along a stunning coastal road. The trip was more than just an adventure. It was a celebration of life, of the resilience and strength they had built together. Standing on a cliff, gazing out at the endless ocean, James turned to Emma and said, "I never thought I'd feel this alive again. Thank you for showing me that it's possible." As James continued embracing life with renewed vigor, he began to truly understand the meaning of legacy. He realized it wasn't about material wealth or riches, but about the values, lessons, and inspiration we leave behind for others. James's story became a testament to the fact that change isn't limited by age. It's driven by willpower and belief in oneself. Through his journey, James discovered that the greatest gift wasn't just the restoration of vitality. It was rediscovering the joy of living, reconnecting with others, and knowing that his actions could inspire countless people to take the first steps toward change. And now, just as Emma had once challenged him, James posed the same question to you. What will you do today to begin your own transformation? The important thing isn't whether the steps are big or small. It's about the direction you choose. The power to change your life lies within your hands. Are you ready to take the first step? James's journey of renewal became a lifelong commitment, not just to his own growth, but also to inspiring others. As the weeks turned into months, and months into years, the impact of his choices spread further than he had ever imagined. The small gatherings in the park slowly evolved into an organized community group, named Steps of Renewal. It became a place where people of all ages could come, share their stories, and support one another on their individual paths of transformation. James and Emma, co-leaders of the group, developed programs focused on mindfulness, nutrition, physical activity, and mental health. The group's reach expanded beyond the local community. As word spread, visitors from neighboring towns began attending. Families brought their elderly parents. Young people sought wisdom and inspiration, and couples came together to improve their lifestyle. What had started as a few walks in the park had grown into a movement that highlighted the power of community in personal development. It wasn't just about physical health. It was about the emotional and spiritual strength that came from coming together, learning from each other, and creating a shared vision for a healthier, more fulfilling life. James's journey had become more than just his own. It was a collective experience, a reminder that no matter where we are in life, we can always reinvent ourselves, and in doing so, we can inspire others to do the same. The steps we take, however small they may seem, can create ripples that transform not only our own lives but the lives of those around us. James's memoir, titled It's Never Too Late to Start Over, was published a year after he began writing it. The book chronicled his transformation journey, offering practical advice, reflections, and encouragement for readers at all stages of life. Its simplicity and honesty resonated deeply with people from all walks of life, creating a ripple of inspiration that spread far beyond his expectations. The memoir quickly became a bestseller in its genre, and soon, James was invited to attend book fairs, health conferences, and even online forums where readers shared how his story had motivated them to embrace change in their own lives. For James, however, it was never about the fame. What mattered most was reaching those who needed hope and practical tools to reclaim their own lives. By this point, James had become a living example of how to live a life filled with purpose and vitality. His mornings were devoted to mindfulness practices, stretching, meditation, and walks in nature. His afternoons were spent giving back to his community, whether it was organizing events in the park, mentoring others, or sharing meals with those who needed companionship. Yet, perhaps the most meaningful aspect of his new life was the deep bond he had rebuilt with his family. His children, who had once worried about their father's declining health and energy, now marveled at his transformation. His grandchildren, who had once seen him as tired and distant, now looked up to him as a role model. James's story had such a profound impact that his granddaughter wrote an essay for school titled "My Grandfather, My Hero." When James read the essay, tears filled his eyes. He realized that his journey was no longer just about his own life. It was shaping how his family and future generations would perceive aging, resilience, and the value of self-care. Throughout it all, Emma remained his steadfast companion. Their relationship, built on mutual respect and inspiration, blossomed into something even deeper. James, who had once thought that the days of love and companionship were behind him, found himself opening his heart again. One evening, as they watched the sunset together, Emma said, "James, do you realize how far you've come? You inspire me every single day." James smiled and replied, "It's because you showed me that it's possible. You gave me the courage to believe in myself again." Their relationship became a testament to the idea that love, like life, can flourish at any age when nurtured with care, respect, and shared dreams. Together, they had created something beautiful, proof that the most profound transformations don't always happen in the distant past or future, but can unfold in the present when we are open to change and to each other. Of course, James's journey wasn't always smooth. There were days when doubts crept in, when old habits resurfaced, or when the aches of aging reminded him of his limitations. Yet, each time he faced these moments, he leaned into the lessons he had learned along the way: the power of perseverance, the strength of community support, and the importance of self-compassion. He often shared this insight with others. It's not about never failing, but about how you handle failure. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. As time went on, James poured his heart into creating resources for those unable to attend his meetings or read his books. He collaborated with local organizations to offer free health workshops, wrote articles for senior magazines, and even began a video series where he shared simple tips on living a vibrant life. One of his final projects was to establish a scholarship fund for young people studying nutrition and health. "If I can help the next generation understand the importance of taking care of themselves and others, then I'll have done my part," he said. As James grew older, he often reflected on his journey. One evening, as he gazed out at the park where everything had begun, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. He thought about his quiet, uninspired life before, and how it had transformed into a story filled with purpose, connection, and joy. He realized that his greatest achievement was not in the changes he had made within himself, but in the lives he had touched along the way. Every person who joined his community, read his books, or simply had a conversation with him became a part of his legacy. In his final years, James lived with a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had truly lived his life to the fullest. His message was always clear: it's never too late to start over. The best days of your life could still be ahead of you, as long as you take that first step. As his journey naturally began to wind down, James focused on ensuring that the community and values he had nurtured would continue long after he was gone. He saw potential in others to carry on the mission of transformation and renewal. The gatherings in the park had grown into a movement, with people from all walks of life participating, and James wanted to empower them to take leadership. He began mentoring key members of the group, sharing his knowledge, experiences, and ideas. Emma, always by his side, played a crucial role in helping others find their own voices. Together, they held leadership workshops, teaching members how to inspire and support one another. James's mantra for the group was simple: be the change you want to see, and others will follow. He emphasized that this movement wasn't about him. It was about the collective power of individuals choosing to live with purpose and share their growth with others. Reflecting on the legacy he wanted to leave behind, James decided to create something lasting: a handbook titled Steps of Renewal, a guide to living with purpose at any age. The book was a compilation of practical advice, inspiring stories from the community, and actionable steps to help people of all ages embrace change. The guidebook became a beacon of hope, a tool for transformation that James distributed for free through local libraries, community centers, and online platforms. His goal was simple but profound: to reach those who felt stuck in repetitive, uninspiring lives, or who had lost their way, and provide them with a gentle nudge toward change. James firmly believed that the right words, at the right time, could ignite a spark in even the most weary hearts. And his guidebook was written with that vision in mind. One of the most touching moments in this new chapter of James's life came from an unexpected source: his 10-year-old grandson. Curious about the book everyone kept mentioning, the young boy asked if he could read it, sitting next to his grandfather. He flipped through the pages with wide-eyed wonder. When he finished, he looked up with admiration in his voice. "Grandpa, when I grow up, I want to be just like you." In that moment, James's heart was filled with a profound joy that he could not contain. It was a powerful reminder that even the smallest actions could ripple through generations, sowing seeds of inspiration and hope. As James entered the final chapters of his life, his body began to slow, but his spirit remained as vibrant as ever. He had learned to measure his life not by the number of years he had lived, but by the richness of the moments he had experienced. Surrounded by his family, friends, and his loyal companion, Emma, James found immense joy in life's simplest pleasures: shared meals, heartfelt conversations, and the occasional stroll through the park, a place that had become his sanctuary. One evening, as James and Emma sat together, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and purple, James reflected on his journey. "Life isn't about how many breaths we take," he said, his voice warm and steady. "It's about those moments that take our breath away. Those moments when we truly live. I wouldn't trade this journey for anything." Emma, her eyes glistening with tears of love and pride, gently replied, "You've shown us that it's never too late to live with purpose. You've given us the greatest gift, the reminder that life is for living fully, no matter where we are in our story." When James passed away, he left this world with a sense of peace, surrounded by love and gratitude. His memorial was not a somber occasion but a joyful celebration of a life transformed and the many lives he had touched. Friends, family, and members of the community gathered to honor a man whose journey had become a symbol of hope and resilience. Stories poured forth, each one illustrating the quiet yet profound impact James had made, from those park walks and open conversations to the guidebook that had become a lifeline for so many. Emma, who had been by his side throughout it all, stood to speak. Her voice was firm, but her words carried the weight of a lifetime of love and admiration. "James's legacy," she said, her gaze sweeping over the crowd, "is not just in the life he lived, but in the lives he changed. He taught us that every day is a new opportunity to start again. And for that, we will forever be grateful." The ceremony was a tribute not only to James's remarkable life, but also to the lasting influence he had on the world around him. It was a reminder that it's not the number of years we live, but the depth of the lives we touch, that truly matters. Through his unwavering commitment to living with purpose, James had created a ripple effect that would continue for generations to come. In the years following James's passing, his vision continued to expand, gaining momentum as it touched more lives. The community he had inspired grew stronger, each individual carrying forward the lessons he had imparted. His guidebook, once a simple tool for reflection, found its way into the hands of readers across the globe, translated into multiple languages. Emma, alongside the leaders James had mentored, remained steadfast in fulfilling his mission, ensuring that his dream would never fade. At the park where James had first met Emma, a tree was planted in his honor, symbolizing the enduring legacy he left behind. Beneath the shade of its branches, a plaque was placed, etched with a message that captured the essence of James's journey. In loving memory of James, a man who showed us that every step forward, no matter how small, holds the power to change a life. May his journey inspire us all to begin again. The tree became a place of reflection and inspiration for the community. Its roots grew deep, mirroring the lasting impact of James's legacy. People, both strangers and loved ones, came to the tree, some bringing flowers, others sitting quietly beneath its canopy, finding strength in the story of a man who proved that it is never too late to start anew. James's legacy lived on as a rallying cry for countless individuals who had read his story and found the courage to take their first steps toward change. His life, though finite, illuminated a timeless truth. Every moment holds the potential for growth, that purpose and connection are always within reach, and that love, when nurtured, possesses the power to transcend time. Now, as you reflect on James's journey, ask yourself, what small step can you take today to begin your own transformation? Let James's story be an invitation for you to embrace change, rediscover purpose, and live fully. The journey begins right now. As you've journeyed through the inspiring tale of James, what touched you the most? Is there something you've learned that you're ready to apply to your own life? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How has James's transformative path inspired your next steps? If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Together, let's continue exploring stories and lessons that remind us it's never too late to begin again. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Sparkles.